The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker Century 21 Jack Ruddy's. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I am here with my husband, co-host, fellow realtor Pat Devaney.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you today?
Just ducky, Pat. Just ducky. How are you?
Very good.
All right. We have with us Gene Mormon, operations manager of Coberline, a Wind River environmental company. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here with us.
Well, thanks for having me today.
Anytime. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we talk real estate. We have an exceptional office full of full-time realtors that have been listing, selling, and appraising real estate for 50-plus years.
During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call you'll get a live person at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab and see what's going on at Dunmore Corners. Can you believe we get at least 1,000 hits a month on that camera? Everybody wants to see what's going on at the corners.
Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate is a quality service award-winning office. That's the prestigious Century 21 award. We received it once again for 2022. Very proud of that award. It's not easy to achieve. So I like to mention that we do provide quality service to our clients. We're found everywhere on social media and jruddy.com. You can search listings, our listings, the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows. Also, on jruddy.com, the radio tab, we have all the popular podcast apps that we feature our radio show on. And jruddy.com, jruddy.com, is mobile friendly. Okay, Gene Mormon, operations manager of Coberline, a Wind River environmental company. Can you tell me who you are, who your company is, where you go, and what you do every day?
Sure. My name is Gene Mormon. I've been in the business for almost 33 years now. Started with the original owner of Coberline and have been through a few acquisitions over the years. Recently, we were just purchased by Wind River Environmental, which has really given us more on the computer high-tech side for our customers. It's allowing us, we have the use of tablets now, you have pictures, we have a customer porthole, a lot more technology and information for the customers going forward. We do all kinds of septic, residential, commercial, bulk hauling, sewer router service, camera work. We're all in all of northeastern Pennsylvania, Sullivan County, New York. We're about 45 employees right now. And we do cover a large area, 24-hour emergency service, 7 days a week if anybody needs us.
Nothing like seeing a septic system backed up through the lawn.
You provide services not only for residential homes, but you also do commercial and industrial?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, when I go on your website and I look at your services, there's some things that I just have no idea about. But we'll get to all of that, okay? And we'll talk about it. But let's talk about septic systems, okay? That's where we're going to start the show. I am what I consider, you're going to love this, a big city girl.
Yes, you are.
Aren't I?
Yes, you are. You got that big high-rise in Dunmore.
Okay.
When I first started dating, we're driving down Blakely Street, and I see it says Dunmore High-Rise. I said, where's the high-rise? She goes, that's it right there.
Well, DC, our producer, is from Philly. You're from New York City.
Yes.
And Gene, you're probably from a more rural area than I am. But Pat considers, can you believe this, Dunmore, Pennsylvania as country?
Right? Yeah, I do. Well, let me tell you something. I lived in New York. I lived in Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn. We moved to Breezy Point, which is a beach community. There's no sewers in Breezy Point. Everybody is on a cesspool. So I used to work on what we lovingly called it the honey truck, Here comes the honey truck. So I have some firsthand, no pun intended, I have some firsthand experience with this topic. I've dug cesspools and I've cleaned them out. So,
well, as a big city girl, I have come across my fair share of country homes on septic systems, right? And cesspools. We even had a property, you probably remember, over 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yes.
That had a borehole.
Yes. And then there's some properties. There's one property in particular in Dunmore that I listed and sold many moons ago that has a septic system. It was on a street, on a court. It was at the end of the court. They couldn't run the public sewer lines to this property, so they had their on-site system. Then there's been properties in Scranton. In particular, there's several sections of Scranton where the public sewers were never run, and they're on boreholes.
Okay.
All right. So we've come across some interesting scenarios over the years, Gene.
People might say, what's a borehole? It just goes into the mines.
Yeah.
Who knows where it goes?
Well, we don't even know that.
We don't even know where it goes. It
All
just
right.
disappears.
Yeah, but you have camera lines. Can you find out where it does go?
Generally, we can. We can camera anything. We have small cameras from residential lines up to crawler cameras for large municipal work. So we can just about camera anything to see where it's going. We have the capabilities of that. And a lot of people, you're seeing some of the municipalities now, specifically Honesdale and the surrounding areas, they're actually requiring an inspection of the sewer line on a municipal sewer for a real estate sale, just to make sure they have to kind of control their infiltration and stuff. And that's going to be required as part of the sale. Now, that's something new that just started here in the last month. And we offer that inspection services. We can camera, provide a video and an inspection report of the line, if need be, for a real estate sale.
Okay, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on our real estate contracts, the agreements of sale, the sales contract, so it always allows an inspection, whether you are on-lot sewage, if you have septic system. But the seller, and here's one of the situations where we often come across, that listing agent doesn't realize that they have to tell the seller that they not only have to identify where the septic is, but open it up so that an inspector can come on site to inspect it. In the event the seller has no idea or it's like buried, what do you do?
We have location tools, metal detectors. We can also locate with the camera. We actually they're like a flushable, like a sondy, we call them. You can actually it's a small thing. You just flush down the toilet and you can,
a tracker.
find it like a little tracker. We have trackers in the camera head. Most of the time you can find them with a metal detector, but there is those few that you have to use a flushable locator or a camera to locate. But we have multiple different ways to locate the tanks.
Okay. Well, that's good because seller at seller's expense has to locate, provide access to, and empty the individual on-lot sewage disposal system. But can you do a proper inspection with it empty?
It's hard to tell. A lot of them will require the tank full to do an actual like a water study on a drain field, a load test, what they call it. And then sometimes we'll coordinate with the inspectors. They'll come in and do their load test, and we'll clean the tank afterwards because they have to run the water usually 45 minutes to an hour to see if there's proper drainage and the drain field itself works properly.
Okay. And this is all at the seller's expense, and then they're supposed to restore the property to its, the condition, the prior condition, like the grounds. Okay. All right. So on these septic systems, what are some of the key signs that a septic system is malfunctioning or needs to be repaired? And then what are the steps involved in repairing and replacing systems?
Depending on once you open the septic tank up, you can look at where the water level is. Normal water level in the septic tank should be about 8 to 10 inches below the top of the tank. If you take the lid off and the water level is above operating level, as we call it, there is an issue with the drain field. Whether it's a plug line or a failed drain field, we do have several options there. We've got jetters that we can flush the fields out. We also have additives that will go in and work and dissolve the sewage out into drain fields themselves. usually we do it as a step-by-step process. We'll jet it. We can do the additives, and then if it requires a full replacement, we do full drain field replacements also. We do tank installs. Sometimes if the toilets don't flush right, it's a sign. Systems that are hard to tell are, I would say, like weekend homes where they're not used on a regular basis. It's hard to get an accurate feel on how the system works because they're not used as like a full-time residence would be.
And puddles, standing water, maybe around the septic tank or drain field, is that a sign?
Yep, they're all signs of, a failing system.
Can I ask you something? Can you describe a septic system, because it's kind of like this dark magic that nobody really understands what it is. Exactly how does it work? I mean, I know what a cesspool is. A cesspool is just a hole in the ground and everything just kind of drains away and it's just one lid. But what is a septic? How does that work?
Basically, there's a holding tank that contains all the solids. You have your pipe that leaves the house, comes into the tank. There is a baffle in there that allows us, when you flush it in, it drops down and lets the tank work. There's also an outlet baffle that keeps the solids from going out towards the drain field. And that's the reason you want to clean your tank every generally 3 to 5 years, depending on how much use it gets, because most, with the drain field itself, people think if you open the tank up, it's all water, that's good. That's actually bad. You want the solids to stay in that tank. That's the purpose of the tank, is to collect the solids so they don't go into your drain field, and that's why you want to maintain it, clean it every 3 to 5 years, depending on how many people are in the house and, how much it gets used.
So what is a drain field? It's a bunch of pipes that go out and just the water just soaks into the ground out in what you would call the drain field, and all the solids stay in the tank.
Correct. Yeah, there's several different types. Some of them may have a single line with stone in the ditch. Some of them will have like a network of pipes. Then the newer systems have what we call raised sand mounds, which is the same concept. They have around 24 inches of sand, 12 inches of stone, and then your pipes lay within that. Now, the pipes in the sand mound system are much smaller than the older type fields, so they're more susceptible to blockage because they can't handle, the solids like the old one. Plus, you have a pump that pumps the systems up there, so you have more maintenance on those as far as the pumps go also.
Oh, so there's a pump in the sand mound system. I could never figure out. I say, how did they get the water up? There's a pump in there.
Yep. Yeah, the majority of them, there is a few that they have a siphon system where it's like a siphon pump. It's not an electric pump, but basically all of them have a pump because that system is designed to pressurize and distribute the liquid equally among the field.
Oh.
So what's known to fail mostly? Is it the drain fields getting plugged, or is it the pump? Is that something that you have to keep your eye on? That I would think it's mechanical, and it would at some point, or
yeah, it's a little of both. A lot of it is lack of maintenance is your biggest issue. If someone cleans their system every 3 years, I always say it's like your car. You want your car to last, you maintain. If you maintain your systems, they'll last a long time.
Yeah.
You got to be careful what you put down. A lot of harsh cleaning chemicals will kill the bacteria off in the tank. It doesn't allow the tank to work properly. And then you'll basically push the solids right through to the field and create an issue.
So no
maintenance
bleach.
is the big key. Yeah, that's the main thing. A little bit of bleach is not going to hurt, but, a lot of bleach or cleaning chemicals, anything like that is hard on the system.
Mm-hmm. With us today, Gene Moorman, Operations Manager of Cobra Line, a Wind River environmental company. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
We have we have a website. You can either go on, we have actually several websites. You can go on cobraline.com.
And Cobra Line is spelled, let's spell it.
KOBERLEIN.com. And also you can find us on Wind River's website, which is WRenvironmental.com. We're listed on one of those. They're up and down the East Coast. So we actually have the capability now for someone, if they have a summer home in Florida, they can be serviced by the same company. Just different branches.
Okay. Phone number?
570-253-3660 is our local number. And we have a 1-800-345-6688.
And you're located?
In Holmesdale is our base operation. We also have a location in Waymart, Pennsylvania, and we have another location up in Ferndale, New York, up in the Liberty area that covers Sullivan County.
Okay. And where do you serve?
All of northeastern Pennsylvania, Sullivan County, New York. We have a pretty broad range.
I guess so.
Basically, it's, we do Lackawanna, Luzerne, Wayne, Pike County, Susquehanna, Monroe County. And then, like I said, Sullivan County, New York, and a little bit of Ulster County, New York. But we have other branches that work in Orange County, New York, and cover all down through New Jersey also.
Nice. Okay, so you're a rather large company.
Correct.
And so let's talk about the types of septic tanks, because they could be metal, right?
Correct.
Or concrete, or
They have plastic tanks now.
okay,
That's kind of starting to become, you're seeing a lot more of the plastic tanks now because you get the longevity out of them. Concrete generally is a good tank, holds up very well, but they can be susceptible to cracking. The metal tanks, depends on the type of soil. I've seen metal tanks 20, 30 years old that look like brand new. I've seen them 10 years old that look like they've been in the ground for 70 years. And, the trouble with the metal tanks is they will rot eventually and need replacement.
right. And a lot of properties have them.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of there's still some old cesspools around the area also, but the majority of them are old metal tanks from back in the 40s and 50s and the 60s. They probably started using concrete tanks in the mid-70s initially. And then, once you start getting into the 80s, a lot of the newer systems were concrete tanks. And, the metal tanks are dwindling, but there's still quite a few out there.
There's some out there. But so plastic is the way, and it's probably a cost factor too, right? Plastic could be less expensive than concrete.
They're actually almost equal.
Really? I would expect
it's
it to
concrete.
be.
Wow, I would think it would be like a half.
Yeah, the plastic becomes more of a site issue, depending on the location or the property. A concrete tank, you've got to be able to get a boom truck back there.
All right.
If you can't get a boom truck back there, a plastic tank you can carry back with the machine and install the plastic tank. Most of it's site access.
Plastic isn't susceptible to wearing out and cracking.
They hold up very well as long as they're put in properly. There's a little bit more, like we use the pea gravel around them. A lot of them, they require that from the company so you don't void the warranty on the tank.
How long of a warranty?
Depends on the manufacturer.
Okay.
There's several different warranties out there, but as long as they're installed properly, embedded. The biggest key is you don't want any big rocks around the tank. Like I said, they're installed with a pea gravel or modified something around there to protect them, and they'll hold up for a long time.
I didn't think of that. If the ground heaves or moves or something, the rock will be like putting a spear through it.
Exactly. And that's you go around, like I said, it usually put about 6 inches of like a pea gravel,
right?
Real fine gravel all the way around. It protects the tank.
And that's why the concrete cracks.
Right, the ground heaves. Right. It gets freezes and crack.
Yeah, the plastic tanks are a little bit more flexible. They do have a little bit of give to them without any issues.
Right. Okay, good. Okay, Gene Mormon, Operations Manager of Cobra Line, a Wind River environmental company. We're going to head towards a break. We're having a great discussion with you, and we appreciate your time today, Gene. I'd like to announce and welcome the most recent addition to Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, Dynasty Vasquez. Dynasty has been an active member of our community for over 15 years. She's very excited to turn that community focus towards assisting those who are looking to buy or sell a home. Due to many life-changing events over the years, she continuously relocated to new areas. So she understands from experience the journey to sell and buy a new home, and she knows the pressures and stress of a move. She wants to help make the process as easy as she can, whether someone is selling or buying a home. Dynasty knows she has the necessary skills to assist in the process. She's eager to help. To contact Dynasty, visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com. And at this time, I'd also like to mention, with gratitude, our sponsor this week, Stephen Scott of House Standing Home Inspections. Don't take any chances on your home purchase. Before you move on to the next step of the home buying process, let House Standing Home Inspections take a look. Stephen will evaluate every detail of your home and provide you with a fast, comprehensive report. House Standing Home Inspections offers structural, wood infestation, radon, mold, water, and septic inspections. Don't go it alone. For a quality inspection, call Stephen Scott of house standing home inspections at 570-251-1052 or visit www.housestandinghomeinspections.com.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about him from the agents, that he does a nice job.
Yes, he's eager to help. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21, Jack Ruddy Real Estate, on 94.3 FM The Talker. We'll be right back. When considering to sell or buy a home, why choose Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate? Let me tell you why. 70% of home buyers settle for the first agent they meet, and many regret it. 90% of home sellers hire an agent, but was it the right choice? Don't have agent remorse. I'm Jackie Ruddy, and I've been in and around the real estate business for most of my life. And at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, we've been selling real estate for half a century. But we do not do it halfway. You deserve better than average. Average doesn't help you. We know it's all about you and what you need. Century 21 is the #1 in brand awareness, is the most recognized name in real estate, and is the most respected in the industry. In this market, if you dream big, you need to move fast. So it makes perfect sense to contact Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, 570-344-6724, and visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com. Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with Pat Devaney, my husband, Phil Realtor.
And we're back.
We are back with Gene Moorman, operations manager of Cobra Line, a Wind River environmental company. We're talking about septic systems, but that's not all that you do, but we're focusing our discussion this week on septic systems, and thank you for that. Before I dive back into the septic system. I want to just say hello, say hi to David and Angela Cianci. Yeah. They let us know that they usually give us a listen as they drive around on the weekend. So thank you for tuning in, David and Angela.
There's a whole list of people who listen. We got people, Bobby and Regina are listening in Brooklyn. My sister's listening out in...
Eileen and Jimmy.
Yeah, out in Long Island.
Billy Griffiths.
And he'll give you a phone call.
Yeah. And Jim Seaman.
Yeah, there's a few.
And my mom.
Yes.
Okay. Gene Moorman, operations manager of Cobra Line, a Wind River environmental company. What are some of the most common maintenance issues that septic systems owner face, and how can they prevent those issues from occurring?
Most of them, you see a lot of backups, if they don't maintain the system properly. And then, a lot of the times you see that it happens, off hours, and then they require an emergency service. And, it can create a backup in the house and create actually damage if, the system is not maintained also.
So maintained, you mean like have it sucked out every 3 to 5 years?
Yep, right around every 3 to 5 years, just depending on how many people are in a household. And then a lot of times if you get on that schedule, we generally recommend 3 years. We come out and clean the system, get an idea of how many people you have in the house. If the system looks okay, it's like, all right, you can go 4 years next time or 5 years. If it looks overly heavy, hey, you need to back it down to 2 years. We try to get you on a maintenance program. We also have like postcards that we send out saying, hey, it's been 2 years. This new system with Wind River now is going to allow us to actually send an email out. Hey, it's been 2 years since we've cleaned your system. Schedule today. It also allows them to do online booking now. They can actually book their own appointment online if they want to do it that way. There's
That's
some
so convenient.
New advantages and convenience that we have for our customers, being part of Wind River now.
Good. How about texting?
They do actually text updates or set up when a driver in the tablet. When he finishes his job before and logs in that he's on his way to your job, it will send a text alert to the customer saying the driver is on his way.
All right.
Gives you an idea, try to keep a little bit more accurate timing, for the customer.
Right. Because a lot of utility companies say, yeah, we'll be there anywhere between 9 and 1 or 1 to 5.
Oh, yeah. Like the cable company?
Like, yeah.
Yep.
And like...
Take your day off and wait for me. We might get there.
That's pretty much, yep.
Yeah,
we do our best to give, we try to keep it to a morning and an afternoon appointment because you never know. Like we always say, the first job of the day is about the only job you can guarantee because you don't know where it's going from there. if you get into more digging or if you run into problems or if it's a simple maintenance clean, you can be in and out in 20 minutes, a half hour. You could be there over an hour.
That's like a Disney story to be in and out in 20 minutes,
Right.
Because nothing is easy.
Right.
Nothing.
No, right. Well, and if, so I mean, I would think that a lot of your days are dictated by emergencies.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
Yeah,
and we do our best to, accommodate the customer and try to slip them in. So sometimes during the day, different drivers will get routes changed. We get an emergency in one area, we may give the emergency to him and then we'll pull that, one of his other stops off and give it to another driver. So sometimes they do get switched up during the day. And we just ask people to be patient, because we're trying to help everybody, as quickly and efficiently as we can.
Let me ask you something about like that box of bacteria that I'm supposed to throw in. I'm not going to mention any names that might you use. Does that stuff work, or is it necessary, or?
Some of them can be good. Some of them can be bad.
Really?
A lot of them, they'll go with the factor where they want, this breaks everything down in your tank. Well, if you break everything down in your tank, the only other place it goes is to the drain field.
Ah.
The purpose of that tank is to collect your solids. So you basically want the solids to stay in that tank. That's the purpose of it, for the system to operate properly. So, there's a lot of claims out by, other different things.
So what do you guys recommend?
We use we have a natural bacteria that's biodegradable. It's not any chemicals or anything that we offer. Some that'll boost. Wind River has a boost, they call it, that helps build the bacteria in the tank. We have another additive that's called Septic, which is used for cleaning the drain fields. It'll help maintain the fields. If you get any solids or residue out in the field, we can recommend putting this in, and it'll help. It's a natural bacteria that goes in and actually eats up the solids that are in the drain field to allow better drainage.
Is this part of the maintenance when you guys come out and do the clean out? Do they do this?
They will look at it and see, how the system's operating, and then we have recommendations. Obviously it's an additional cost there, but, if the system's operating properly and they don't see any real signs, generally it's just a maintenance clean.
How about tree roots? I mean, usually these mounds and things are in a place that's, wide open. You don't usually see shrubs around these areas where the drain field is. But do you ever have a problem? I'm sure you have, where you run into tree roots.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, how much of an issue can that be?
Depending on how extensive they are, we've got root cutter heads that go on our jetters that flush the lines out. We also have electric rooters that will go in and cut all the roots out, and then we also have an additive that we can put down if there's a substantial amount of roots. It'll go down and it'll actually kill the roots off, but it won't kill the tree. And it's made to open the lines. It's kind of like a foaming.
Interesting.
That we put down after that. We take the majority of the roots out with the rooter or the jetter. And then if it's too far gone, then, you may have to replace the pipe, just depending on the condition of the pipe. A lot of the older drain fields are what they call Orangeburg. And it's basically just like rolled tar paper. Mm-hmm. So after the years, it just breaks apart and gets brittle. And, if you get to that extent, you're better off replacing it at that point.
So it is a problem you come across, but you do have a solution.
Yes.
Always. Yep. All right. Gene Moorman, Operations Manager of Coberline, a Wind River environmental company. Contact information, please.
Yes, you can reach us at Coberline.com. It's KOBERLEIN.com, or at WRenvironmental.com. Phone number 570-253-3660. We also have a 1-800-345-6688 number you can reach us at. And you could also book online if you need to. You can go on Wind River's website, and they have a place where you can book online if you'd like to.
Nifty stuff. Would you come back next week, please?
Sure.
All right. We have more to talk to you about. We're looking for listings. If you're ready to sell, please give us a call. It's the time of year that most people do put their property up for sale, but we are running into inventory issues. We do have ready, willing, able, and approved buyers in the wings, even though the interest rates have been all over the place, up, mostly up, come down for a little bit.
Just for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
then they
go back up. So, but we do have buyers that are out there that are looking to buy homes. So please give us a call at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. We're here to help, and we'll get you sold. All right. Remember to tune in next Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m. to listen to more of the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate and 94.3 The Talker.